I am very glad that people are finally starting to talk about sexual harassment. I was sexually harassed myself when I first started comedy. I was giving this guy a ride home from a gig, and he was like, "Do you want to have sex?" And I said, "No, I don't." And then he's like, "But I have a really big dick, though." And I was like, "That's not what I'm worried about." And then he was like, "Here, I'll show you." And then he took out his dick, and it was definitely sexual harassment, but it was also just a regular dick. That's the part that I found really weird. You know, every couple of months I have to quit Tinder because I'll get this like barrage of dick pics, and I'm like, oh God, why do men do this? And I thought about it, and I'm not trying to blame women for this, but I will tell you that I don't think that we're helping the situation when we have sex with men, and in order to make them feel good about themselves, we'll say stuff like, "Oh, it's so big," or, "Oh, it's so beautiful." Maybe you hear that stuff enough times, and you start thinking, damn, I've got to show this to some more people. I do not want the world to miss out on this. I care a lot about reproductive rights. Everyone always talks about reproductive rights like it's women's rights or a women's issue, and I don't really think that that's the case. I feel like we all benefit from reproductive rights. I feel like a lot of the guys I hang out with, I feel like a lot of the guys I hang out with don't realize that without abortion and birth control, women are gonna go right back to just fucking guys with jobs. Abortion and birth control are basically the bedrock of the fuckboy lifestyle. I don't even know if the men that I know understand that sex can make a kid. They're super worried that sex can make someone your girlfriend. Back in the 1950s, if you were a guy and you wanted to get laid, you had to have a job and a wife. And if you wanted to sleep with someone that wasn't your wife, you typically did it with your secretary, and you still have to have a job for that. There was no way out. Now, it's very different. I don't even know a man under 35 who is not a recreational DJ. I once slept with a guy because he had a cool bike. Not even a motorcycle, just a Schwinn. I told that story to a friend of mine, and she's like, whoa, that's so weird. I slept with a guy because he had a cool bike. Turns out it was the same guy. Obviously an extremely cool bike.